Alrighty, so we just finished up watching the live stream for the new Sabnak Catastrophe Festival character that just got revealed, and it is a festival. I was not actually sure if it was going to be one or not, but looking very interesting. She seems to be an unknown-based character, which is pretty, typical because she's an unknown. She is red as well as you are. You're seeing right here, I think this is a little snippet from the new, I assume, Catastrophe story chapter, which is kind of cool. We get to see Sabnak along with the two other villain characters, which look really cool. So you see the girl in blue. She's got like blue highlights in her hair. I have no idea what the other two's names are, but then you have this girl right here. I thought this was like some sort of avatar thing that she like summons to help fight with her or whatever, but you'll see right here Sabnak will walk in and she will kind of take that armor off. But we have the main three villains, it looks like, of the Catastrophe storyline right here, and honestly they look really cool. I like the black and red one a lot. Sabnak's obviously the one in the middle. This is the one that we're getting as the festival character, and then we have this new black and blue one as well. Not sure on the names of the other two, but looking forward to seeing them in the story chapter and maybe more in the future. But we do have the new Sabnak character, which is a festival unit, so you can see it is a 900 banner, and it is it's like a festival seasonal banner, which I'm not sure about. You can see that her UR costume is a bikini, a swimsuit, and the chat immediately folded. Everybody said, well, I don't have gems for this. I don't want to summon for this. And then they showed a woman in a bikini, and then everyone in chat folded and said that they were summoning. So pretty typical as far as YouTube chat goes. But yeah, we'll look at the banner really quickly as well, just to kind of show you. It's not great, I'll be honest. I'm not a big fan of this this banner. It has a couple of okay festivals, but kind of older ones. You have DK, Old Light Liz, Festival Deanne, Purgatory Melly, Berserk Esterosa, and Infinity Merlin. Some of those are more useful than others. And then the rest of the banner is just completely seasonal characters. And then for whatever reason, you have Chaos Arthur, not Chaos Arthur, you have Excalibur Arthur and Nanashi in here as well. So, kind of odd. A couple of Ragnarok characters as well. These aren't necessarily seasonals, but I don't know. LR Liz is in here, so that's kind of cool, I guess. But yeah, she is a 900 banner. You do get a guaranteed at 300, 600, and then you pull a copy of her guaranteed on 900, of course. They do have some power-up tickets for the 6% banner, which this one is a 4%. And yeah, she does work everywhere. You can see the passive and everything is wild. We will go over it. I feel like I have an actual pretty decent understanding of the character after like watching the stream and kind of going over it with the chat. But yeah, the character herself, we can see her costumes and stuff here. I guess I'll just maybe speed through this a little bit. We are getting a Camilla relic as well, and it works in the back line, which is kind of interesting. I'm not 100% sure on it just yet. We're getting a Percival Hawk Pass costume, which is cool. I think it actually does look really good, but they're going to go over her costumes as well. The Camilla relic is kind of interesting. I'll pull up the Discord here in a second and show the Kane translations for that. So early shout out to Kane for, of course, live translating these kind of things as the streams kind of get showed. This is the SSR costume. There's the UR costume, which is the bikini, which is crazy that they were just like, okay, Summer Unit is a festival and 900 gems, that's a bit much, especially as we're getting right out of Escanor. She has like this academy, sort of like schoolgirlish look to her as well. That's like a costume that you can get. The next one is a really cool looking like dark armor set, if they'll get to it. Yeah, this one right here. I think that one's really cool if you're going for like an armor sort of vibe. And then the last one is like a sort of like female magician sort of look as well, which is right here. We'll skip forward past the weapons just because the weapons are all just like little hologram things around her wrists. She has like a cool summer outfit. This is, I'm assuming, the one that goes with the UR head, the UR outfit that you get when you summon her. She has like a tied back braid, which is kind of cool. I think that one's for the student sort of outfit. I think I like that one a lot. This one is the one that goes with the armor, so it's got a little bit of, horn action going on, I guess, if that's your thing. And then this one reminds me of Beatrice from the ReZero collab that we have, but she's got like an eye patch with some like curly sort of like buns, or yes, ponytails. But either way, they did show off some gameplay as well. Let's go over the passive really quickly first, just so that way we can kind of get that out of the way. As you can see, it's a lot. The Camilla relic really quickly is increase unknown allies attack and pierce by 20%, increase unknown allies' attack and pierce by 20% for those who have ultimate move gauge below 4. Also, the enemy that used skills at the enemy's turn get attack-related stat reduction by 5%, applies before usage of skill. So, it does work in the back line. I'm not 100% sure why they decided to do this character with a relic, and it is a Ratatasker relic as well, you should know, which is abysmal. I have no idea why they were like, okay, mediocre relic, and it's for Camilla, who's old, and we're going to throw it on Ratatasker, who's the newest, hardest boss. Don't make sense at all. So, not a big fan of that. I don't know, maybe it'll be useful in some scenario. Maybe you use it on the blue one for Knighthood boss, but it works in the back, so I guess you could use it on the red one as well. But Nanashi giving stats and stuff like that is way better than whatever this is, so not really sure on that. Either way, we have the Shadow of the Deep Sea Nightmare Sabnak, which is the new character. Passive is Shadow of Darkness, and this is going to be a little hard to follow, but I actually think that this one is somewhat understandable for the most part. So let's go over this thing. I guess let me... hopefully my webcam's not in the way. I'm going to try to make sure it's not during the edit. But at the start of the battle, apply Shadow Shield for 1 turn on the unit. So at the beginning of the battle, she automatically has her Shadow Shield, which does taunt the enemy and decreases unknown allies' damage taken by 20%. And she actually gets an additional 30% damage reduction when she has the shield on. So at the beginning of the battle, she already has the shield out. At the start of the ally's turn, when the number of enemies present in the battlefield is over 2, apply Deepening Illusion to the enemy with the lowest HP ratioed from their max HP. So whoever has the lowest HP on the enemy team gets Deepening Illusion. The rest of the enemies apply Illusion to those enemies. So as soon as the battle starts, the enemy team is going to have 2 people with Illusion on, and then the lowest HP enemy gets Deepening Illusion. This is, don't worry, this it goes somewhere, trust me. Deepening Illusion, which is the one on the lowest HP enemy, gets when removed, apply Deepening Mental Breakdown. So that comes into play. Illusion gets removed and applies Mental Breakdown. And so that comes into play from the first skill right here, which is Evil Touch. Inflict delusion damage by 250% of attack on all enemies. Delusion is crit chance times 2, and then for each deepening illusion and illusion applied to the enemies, increases the critical damage by 50% when using the skill. So that is, what, 150% crit damage? And it's already got times 2 crit chance. So that's pretty interesting. When the unit attacks the enemy with delusion effect, so with that first skill, removes all deepening illusions and illusions applied to the enemy, which is immediately going to give them the mental breakdowns set as well. So when removed, applies mental breakdown and deepening mental breakdown. So you use the first skill, it's going to get rid of that first set of illusion and deepening illusion that they already have on. It's going to reapply a new debuff, which is deepening mental breakdown to the lowest HP enemy and mental breakdown to the other 2 enemies. I know this is kind of hard to follow, but well, I guess we'll go over those as well really quickly, since the rest of the passive kind of moves on to something else. Mental Breakdown is minus 20% attack-related stats. Effect is removed when damaged by an enemy at the enemy's turn, and when removed, seals single target or AoE skills for 1 turn. So it's like a 50-50 chance. When they were doing the PvP showcase, which we'll look at in just a moment, you see them kind of get use out of this. They end up sealing the single targets on one of the, like the Merlin units, and then they end up stunning the hell on the enemy team, so she can't use any of her cards, because the Deepening Mental Breakdown, which is on the lowest HP enemy, it's minus 20% attack related stats, just like the regular one, but when the effect is removed, or effect removed when damaged by an enemy at the enemy's turn, and when removed, stuns the unit for 1 turn. So she has a stun built in on the lowest HP enemy, which is, it's kind of a lot, I know. So the idea so far, you apply Illusion and Deepening Illusion at the beginning, you remove it with the first skill, and it's going to apply the Mental Breakdown set instead, once you get rid of the Illusion set. And then the second skill, which is Biting Shadow, inflicts Dark Shadow damage by 300% of attack on all enemies. Dark Shadow is Pierce Rate times 3. When attacking enemy with Deepening Mental Breakdown or Mental Breakdown applied, increases attack-related stats by 40% when using a skill. For every dead enemy, increases damage by 20%. So, you attack with the first skill, it moves them into mental breakdown. And then when they have mental breakdown on, you use the second skill, which is just going to do additional damage. You get a bunch of extra damage from the attack-related stats and everything. So that's kind of the combo that works here. Then, when the unit attacks the enemy with Dark Shadow effect, which is Dark Shadow. Where is Dark Shadow? Dark Shadow effect? Where does that one come into play? Is that? Oh, it's Dark. Okay, so Dark Shadow effect is the second skill. So when you use the second skill, apply Remnant to the unit for every enemy damaged by Dark Shadow effect, and when the unit gets max stacks of Remnant, apply Shadow Shield for 1 turn. So you get the shield at the very beginning. Once you use your second, like if you use the combo, you use the first skill to get them into mental breakdown, use the second skill to get or to remove their mental breakdown. That's going to give you the remnant stacks, and if you get 3 remnant stacks, it reapplies your shield for 1 more turn. So that is obviously going to recycle you back to the top, where you get decreased damage taken for unknown allies and 30% extra damage reduction for herself. So that's that. I know that's a lot, but it seems like it'll kind of play pretty smoothly on the battlefield and everything. She has a unity effect, which is Trauma of the Remnant. This one is very, very weird to me. Increases the unit's bond with this bond by attack-related stats by 13%. It's 8% at level 1, by the way, and decreases defense-related stats by 5%. And it scales with the ultimate level, of course. So this is the first time I'm seeing anything where it's like, okay, you get an attack-related stat increase, but it's lowering your defense-related stats. Or actually, did Shoutier have something like this? I want to say maybe she did. I can't remember exactly. But either way, it lowers your defense-related stats, which is very odd for a unity. Obviously, we went over the first 2 skills because those play into how her passive works. The ultimate is True Nightmare. Apply Deepening Mental Breakdown to all enemies and increase the unit's attack-related stats by 50% for 2 turns. Also removes all debuff effects applied to the unit except Deepening Mental Breakdown, and inflicts spike damage damage to or by 600% of the attack on all enemies. Sorry, I'm all over the place. When the unit is on the battlefield, for every Deepening Illusion or Illusion effect removed from the enemy, increases the unit's basic stats by 5%, max of 50%. So she does increase her own basic stats. If we look at the banner right here, you can see kind of how some of the scaling works. I obviously don't have this translated, so I'm not sure exactly what some of these parts are. I originally kind of thought that the basic stat increase was this top one right here, but I actually think that might be the attack-related stats you get from using the ultimate. So it seems like you'll get 10% attack-related stats at 1/6, all the way up to 50% attack-related stats at 6/6. I'm not sure what this small part down here is either, but I think this might still be part of the Unity, but I could be wrong on that. I actually think I am wrong on that. But the Unity scales from 8% to 13% on attack-related stats. You don't get anything for whatever this part is. If you know, let me know. But you don't get anything at 1/6. And then just like with the modern festival units that we get now, you do get some sort of effect, which is 0. I guess that just means that you have it. X is nothing. 0 is you have it. You get some sort of effect at 2/6. So I guess take that into consideration. Like I said, don't know what this text part is either, so feel free to let me know if you know. But that is the banner and the character. Let's look at a little bit of the PvP, because it is pretty interesting, and then we'll kind of skim through the patch notes. I do tend to go over the patch notes in full whenever they come out to Global, so I'll probably be going over them in their entirety. We'll just skim through it today, just to kind of see things. But you can see the teams that they're using. One is using LR or UR Gother for rank ups and cleansing, because they're going up against a Hell, and then they have a Tier on the team as well, which is kind of interesting. And then the other team is using the Halloween Merlin, who is a stat booster, and she seals AoE skills, which is kind of cool, considering that Sabnak is double AoE. So you can see here, she's using the first skill, getting rid of the illusion stacks, applying the breakdown stacks instead. Then she is using the second skill, which does a pretty big chunk of damage, because of the extra attack-related stats and everything you get from that. And if she didn't already have the shield on because it's turn 1, she would have technically reapplied that shield. So you can see here, because Hell is the one with the lowest HP percentage, I guess. She's the one that ended up getting the deepening variants of her debuffs, which means that she actually got stunned. So you can see that both of the cards for Hell are sealed here, and then it looks like both Sabnak on the enemy team and the Merlin both got single target sealed, because Merlin can't use her single target, but because Sabnak is double AoE, she can still use her cards, of course. It is a very odd, also, the chat pointed out as well, that it didn't really make much sense for them to go Sabnak versus Sabnak here, because obviously she's a new character. It's kind of hard to gauge how well she's doing against herself, because we don't know the unit at all, and it would have been really nice to see them use this new unit against a meta team to see kind of how well she's going to perform, but of course, the developer PvP is always kind of bizarre anyway, so I wasn't really expecting too much anyway. Getting a lot of sealing going on here. I think he ends up just having to kind of just throw away this turn. He can't really do much because he is sealed. We're back to the enemy's turn here. So we're back on the Merlin team's turn, because obviously all he could do was use his Gother cards in the last one. Uses this again because he has Deepening Illusion on, or the Illusion stack, so he removes those. That's actually going to give her more basic stats, which is kind of nice. They now have Mental Breakdown on, but because she doesn't have the full combo to follow up with that, he seals with AoEs, uses a Hell card, but he has a rank up from Gother in hand, so he's going to rank up into the tier and uses a level 3 tier card, which ends up doing really well. You'll see it right here. I thought that the Hell team was going to be like a shoe-in to win this, but, you know, right here you can see he hits the Hell with the single target from Gother. He throws out this level 3 AoE, and tier is on some pretty low HP as well, so lots of damage here. Kills the Merlin. Does not crazy damage to Sabnak. You can see she's still above 50%, which is kind of crazy. Almost killed the Hell, and then they do end up kind of whittling her off for the rest of this. But he does have an AoE from Sabnak. We'll see how much that does, and then we'll probably move on. But I don't know, kind of a weird showcase. They don't really do a great job of like showing how well this would do against, you know, anything that's already in the game, so it's kind of an odd way to showcase it. Not crazy damage there. She does take a little bit of sort of like build up, it seems, to really get going, so, you know, take some of that with a grain of salt. She doesn't seem like a crazy big like DPS character necessarily. She's putting a lot of debuffs on. She's taunting when she has the shield up and everything. She seems a little supporty, but she can do some pretty good damage. Very, very interesting character. So, obviously we have You Are Sabnak. We have the new Chapter 2 of the story event coming out, so I'm looking forward to that. We have the 3 new costumes. We have a new card set. I'm not sure what this one does. I haven't seen translations yet, but I'll look at it whenever the global translations come out. Like I said, we're getting a Camilla Holy Relic, which I'm not happy about because it is a Ratatasker relic. Coin shop, of course. Bundles and everything, of course. Nothing too crazy there. We are getting a login event with 30 tickets right here, 15 on days 1 and 2, and then we get 150 gems over the course of the rest of the 28 days for the festival. So even if you're skipping, which I think she seems pretty skippable, I don't think that she's like a crazy must-have character, at least so far. I'm going to see some JP sort of like gameplay and stuff like that tomorrow, of course, because she'll come out on JP. But you get 30 free tickets there, some extra free gems. You get another additional 10 tickets for 40 tickets total from the special missions. So you get a decent amount of free summons there, which is kind of nice. We have another Blessings event, Artifact Card Wishings event as well. The Hawk Mine, like Treasure Hunter event is coming back also. The Summer Quest event is coming back, so you can do the little summer storyline. They're bringing back these cool little boxes. I know that they're doing Fort Solgris Dungeon for the first one, which does have a chance for diamonds in it, as well as some other things, so that's kind of cool. Holy Relic materials and stuff in the second one, which is maybe alright. I'd probably rather have the gear stuff personally. Couple of new battle events, as well as a beach event also. Lamech is also coming back as an extermination battle, which is what this kind of translates to. But I'm pretty sure this is a world quest. You can see the little gauge up here at the very top. This is going to be like a community event where as we fill the gauge up to certain percentiles, we're actually going to unlock rewards for the whole community. So once we get it completely done, you get an hourglass at 60, which is actually really nice. But at 100%, you get 30 diamonds, which is also pretty cool. So the exchange shop, pretty typical. You're able to get the Lamech card here, which is kind of nice, I guess. 10 UR seals, a bunch of the card packs for the new set, as well as some pretty typical rewards in the rest of this thing here. A couple of returning seasonal costumes as well. Reward dungeon, of course. Summer cosmetics for the tavern. They're bringing back the summer costumes for a lot of old characters. It does not seem like these are going to be available for gyms. It says only sets can be purchased. So I don't think that these are going to be for gyms. At least for this vacation costume set. This one right here is 30 diamonds for each, which is the old costumes. So that is super stupid. Not a big fan of them not giving these, or like letting you have the opportunity to buy these with gyms. So that really sucks. But the Diamond Payback event is happening. You get the SSR costume for Sabnak at 900, like all the other UR festivals so far. Pretty typical rewards as far as everything else goes. Lots of the same old sort of like regular festival boosting events like the King Exchange, the regular like actual support boosting stuff. They waited 1 week in between this Hawk Pass and the last, so we are getting this Hawk Pass with that Percival costume that we seen earlier, so that is kind of nice. The 2 new battle events. They are doing a couple of the quality of life improvements that they talked about in the dev notes if you did not see those. So improve the setting speed of equipment, additional effect, continuous change, so you can do 5 times speed when using anvils now, 3 times speed on Heroes Arena, Demonic Beast Battle, Training Cave, and Underground Labyrinth, which is actually really, really nice. I'm looking forward to that. You can now open as many card packs as you want, and they sort of show up in this like 1x5 grid, so you can see which ones you're pulling and everything, which is kind of cool. UI improvements to the battle screen and Balor's Evil Eye buff/debuff. So it looks like when you inspect characters now, they're going to have like a much more like intuitive, sort of like easier to view UI, like that you can actually see what each debuff and effect and everything that you have on your characters actually is, which is actually kind of nice. I'm looking forward to messing with that a little bit and getting used to that. So that looks really good. Improved boss battle screen, so now they have like a bigger button to go from normal to hell on demonic or on regular demons when you summon those. So that's kind of nice. They have an LR rarity filter now in the box screen. You can now upgrade stuff all the way to maximum when it comes to costume upgrades, so that's kind of nice. You can just upgrade it. If you have an SSR costume, you can go all the way to max UR, or you can go from rare to max UR, like all of that good stuff. You can now awaken characters to each individual level instead of just doing it all at one time, I guess, or just like very individually, one by one. You can just kind of choose where you want to go. Not a huge deal, but that's kind of nice. The basic stat for regular gear is now going to be a little gauge that you can see, and you can see how full it is instead of it being just a number, so that way it's a little bit less confusing, which I like. And then right here, if the basic stat for the stat pop-up is maximum value, the gauge will turn gold. Okay, that's pretty normal. They are improving the daily pack thing, so if you haven't noticed, every time you open the game, it's like, oh, hey, go to the shop, there's a UR treasure chest that you can claim. It seems like they're fixing that, which I'm happy about, and then improve the character alignment for some of the team formations. So I think they're saying like if you swap between different devices, some more of your teams will stay, which is nice. Big list of bug fixes, and then the Sabnak is getting added to the Heroes Arena, and then they're actually removing the season or the special buff from Escanor and Percival. Obviously, if you're on global, just do it on Monday with these two, and then you can wait till Tuesday to do it with Sabnak if you want. And then they're adding the SSR costume from Escanor into the shop. So lots of stuff, actually. Very interesting. I wasn't sure if it was actually going to end up being a festival character or not, but it definitely is. So that is very interesting. I think this one seems pretty skippable. She is an unknown character. And I don't know. I mean, she's got a Unity, which makes you kind of want to get extra copies of her and everything. And she's a festival character, of course, but she definitely doesn't seem like like a must have, at least from like what I'm seeing so far, which the dev showcase was kind of mediocre, and the passive and everything is like crazy. Like there's so much going on, but it does. I feel like I understand it for a decent majority of it, and then the banner itself, not all that great. So I think you could probably comfortably skip this one, as well as just like kind of coast through the festival aspect of this and just get free rewards and stuff like that. So I mean, I don't know. Let me know if you're interested at all in the character. Obviously, like I said earlier, people immediately folded and said, hey, I'm summoning because it's a woman and she has a bikini. So, I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts and opinions are, of course. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you guys tomorrow.